Peter Blasl from Riverhead Local with our new cooking show called Cookin Local. And I'm here with Juan, Micieli-Martinez, the head winemaker from Clara. And Juan's going to be making quesadillas today. You want to run us through a little bit of what you're making for us?
Yeah, we're going to be doing a little bit of with Cinco de Mayo coming up relatively soon. And I have a Mexican heritage, and so we're going to be producing some guacamole, some fresh-made tortillas, and making some quesadillas that are going to go together with that fresh-made guacamole. So.
Yeah, sounds good. Let's get started.
All right, so I guess first what we're going to do is we're going to make the guacamole. So I'm going to start off with avocados, and I'm kind of trying to plan to do this for 4 people. So 2 avocados is really kind of what you need, and you want to cut them. You can cut them however way you really want to, but what I like to do is I cut them long ways there, and then I take the bottom of the knife and I just drop it right into the pit, and I'm able to pull the pit right out of it. So you take the pit out, put it to the side. You can use it. Some people sometimes believe that the pit will keep it from browning, the guacamole from browning, but that's really what we'll use the lime for. That really prevents the browning. So you just gently scoop that right out with the spoon. And drop that right into your bowl there, and you'll do that to all 4 of the sides there. Just right around the skin, and you just kind of gently scoop it right out. Drop that into your bowl. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll actually save these skins and I'll throw them into my compost pile. Makes great compost. I tend to like a little cilantro. I happen to like that flavor, so I chop up pretty much a small amount of cilantro, roughly around 1/4 cup of cilantro, and then I like some onion too, so I'll cut half of the onion lengthwise, and I'll do a nice little dice on that there as well too. Pull that skin right, that peel right off of it. I'm going to take about juice of half of a lime, and I like to kind of just try and soften it up a little bit with my palm there, just roll in that, and it helps release some of the juices right out of there. So you're going to go about juice of half a lime right there.
I can start smelling already. It smells great. Wow.
Yes. And then
I'm hungry.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. And then I typically will also throw in a little bit, about a tablespoon of sour cream into there, and that helps to make it a little bit of a creamier guacamole. And then I'll always put in some salt and pepper to taste. Some salt, a little bit of pepper right there. And then you just give it a good little mash up right there. And all you're doing is just kind of mashing everything right together, relatively simple.
It's pretty.
Yeah. And you use your rubber spatula to mix it all together there, and this is just going to be the first part of what we're doing, because we're also going to be making some tortillas and some fresh quesadillas right from those tortillas. So
how long does a meal like this generally take to prepare?
This is, if you're just having this as an appetizer, say the tortillas in the guacamole, I would say it's going to be about a half hour, once you get some skill with it.
Yeah, this is a good meal for guests when you have it.
Absolutely. So the next thing that we're going to be making is our tortillas, and I'm going to be making these tortillas from scratch. I'm going to be making corn tortillas from maseca. I don't know if you've ever heard of maseca yourself.
No, I haven't.
It's a corn flour, and it's available at pretty much your local supermarkets. But if you have any trouble finding it, you can be sure to find it at a bodega. I'm going to start off with 2 cups of maseca, right into a bowl right there. And then you're going to use about 1.5 cups of warm water. Just pour that right into there. I also throw a little bit of olive oil into there, or vegetable oil, whatever you want to use there. And some salt as well. And then you just go ahead and you start to stir this up. It's going to get a mealy texture. It's kind of tough to describe per se. It's almost like a cookie dough, I'd say.
It's kind of dry?
It's a little bit on the drier side, yes. Just go through there, and I'll mix it, roughly with the spoon first, and then it's time to dig right in and and see how the consistency is. And it should stick together. And so right now it's not, so I know I need to add a little bit more water into that. Okay. So now we have our flour here made, our maseca, and you can see it'll form a nice even ball there. And so now we're going to start to press these out and put them onto our grill pan. Just it's a tortilla press. You find them again at your local bodegas. You know, they're readily available there. You might have a little bit of a tougher time finding this at your local supermarket, but any bodega for sure will certainly have this. And so when we're making the tortillas, you know, I actually try and, you know, I form the dough into around a golf ball size, you know, round size of the dough there, and then we drop that, you know, right onto the press here. And as you can see, I actually used plastic, so I dropped one piece of plastic down on the bottom part of the press itself. Then I dropped the dough right there on top of it, and I put a second piece of plastic right onto the top. And I'll layer that right down, and then this little neat handle hinges right over, and you'll press it until you start to almost see the tortilla coming out of the edge, you know, right there. And then very simply, you peel off the top layer of the plastic, comes right off, and I lay that right back on the top there. And then I'll pick up the pressed tortilla, and I'll drop it onto my hand there, and then peel off the plastic off the top of it nice and easily, and just drop it right down onto my griddle pan here. And you want to make sure that this griddle pan is hot. You got to make sure it's nice and hot, and it becomes just a, you know, figuring out how long to cook these things, it becomes something that you just learn to do with time. But I would say about a minute and a half on each side. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and make our quesadillas. And you know, you can use whatever type of cheese that you want here. If you like a little bit of more spicier cheese, you might want to use a Monterey Jack style cheese, or you can even throw some jalapenos. I'm going to keep it a little bit simpler here, and all we're going to do is throw in about a quarter of a cup of shredded cheese here as a mixture of some mozzarella and cheddar cheese, and just drop it right onto there. And again, if you wanted to, if you were into your spiciness, you could throw some jalapenos onto there. You could throw some onions onto there as well too. You can really do whatever you'd like to do with these. They're fun and easy meal there. Or you can start off as an appetizer to an evening. I'll give this a little bit of a lift right there, you know, in order to see how the melting is going along. As you can see here, it's starting to melt quite nicely. And then I'll go ahead and I'll flip her over so I get heating on both sides of the quesadilla. Over here, just going to cut the quesadilla into four. Here, throw a little bit of guacamole onto there, and give them a try. So nice and cheesy. The cheese is, you know, melting a little bit there. A little
nice and hot.
Guacamole right on top of there.
Yeah. I don't know how you grab these things off of. They cool down a bit. It's very pretty.
So we're going to enjoy these, and then the next thing we're going to do is make a little white sangria to pair along with this, but let's taste these in the meantime.
Delicious. Wow.
And it's just as easy as that. I mean, we're talking probably about 10 different ingredients, about a half-hour amount of time, and you're eating
fresh,
good, fresh Mexican food.
Yeah, everything's fresh.
So we're going to move on over a little bit, clean up a little bit, get a little bit of a white sangria going, come back to the quesadillas, and then we can have a little sangria and quesadillas together.
So there you go, cooking local. Can't get better than this.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Start the sangria.